Today's reading from the Old Testament, Exodus chapter 17 verse 1 to chapter 19 verse 11. And all the congregation of the sons of Israel journey from the wilderness of Sin, on their journeys, by the command of Yahweh, and encamp in Rephidim, and there is no water for the people to drink. And the people strive with Moses, and say, Give us water, and we drink. And Moses says to them, Why do you strive with me? Why do you try Yahweh? And the people thirst for water there, and the people murmur against Moses, and say, Why is this that you have brought us up out of Egypt to put us to death, also our sons and our livestock, with thirst? And Moses cries to Yahweh, saying, What do I do to this people? Yet a little, and they have stoned me. And Yahweh says to Moses, Pass over before the people, and take with you from the elderly of Israel, and take your rod in your hand, with which you have struck the river, and you have gone. Behold, I am standing before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you have struck on the rock, and waters have come out from it, and the people have drunk. And Moses does so before the eyes of the elderly of Israel. And he calls the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the strife of the sons of Israel, and because of their trying Yahweh, saying, Is Yahweh in our midst or not? And Amalek comes, and fights with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses says to Joshua, Choose men for us, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I am standing on the top of the hill, and the rod of God in my hand. And Joshua does as Moses has said to him, to fight with Amalek, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur have gone up to the top of the height. And it has come to pass, when Moses lifts up his hand, that Israel has been mighty, and when he lets his hands rest, that Amalek has been mighty. And the hands of Moses are heavy, and they take a stone and set it under him, and he sits on it, and Aaron and Hur have taken hold on his hands, one on this side and one on that side, and his hands are steadfast until the going in of the sun. And Joshua weakens Amalek and his people by the mouth of the sword. And Yahweh says to Moses, Write this, a memorial in a scroll, and set it in the ears of Joshua, that I utterly wipe away the remembrance of Amalek from under the heavens. And Moses builds an altar, and calls its name Yahweh Nissi. And says, Because a hand is on the throne of Yah, war is to Yahweh with Amalek from generation to generation. And Jethro priest of Midian, father-in-law of Moses, hears all that God has done for Moses and for his people Israel, that Yahweh has brought out Israel from Egypt. And Jethro, father-in-law of Moses, takes Zipporah, wife of Moses, after her parting. And her 2 sons, of whom the name of one is Gershom, for he said, I have been a sojourner in a strange land. And the name of the other is Eleazar, for, the God of my father is for my help, and he delivers me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, father-in-law of Moses, comes, and his sons, and his wife, to Moses, to the wilderness where he is encamping, the mountain of God. And he says to Moses, I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you, and your wife, and her 2 sons with her. And Moses goes out to meet his father-in-law, and bows himself, and kisses him, and they ask of one another of welfare, and come into the tent. And Moses recounts to his father-in-law all that Yahweh has done to Pharaoh, and to the Egyptians, on account of Israel, all the travail which has found them in the way, and how Yahweh delivers them. And Jethro rejoices for all the good which Yahweh has done to Israel, whom he has delivered from the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro says, Blessed is Yahweh, who has delivered you from the hand of the Egyptians, and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered this people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I have known that Yahweh is greater than all the gods, for in the thing they have acted proudly, he is above them. And Jethro, father-in-law of Moses, takes a burnt offering and sacrifices it for God, and Aaron comes in, and all the elderly of Israel, to eat bread with the father-in-law of Moses before God. And it comes to pass on the next day, that Moses sits to judge the people, and the people stand before Moses from the morning to the evening. And the father-in-law of Moses sees all that he is doing for the people and says, What is this thing which you are doing for the people? Why are you sitting by yourself, and all the people standing by you from morning until evening? And Moses says to his father-in-law, because the people come to me to seek God. When they have a matter, it has come to me, and I have judged between a man and his neighbor, and made known the statutes of God, and his laws. And the father-in-law of Moses says to him, the thing which you are doing is not good. You surely wear away, both you, and this people which is with you, for the thing is too heavy for you, you are not able to do it by yourself. Now listen to my voice, I counsel you, and God is with you. Be for the people before God, and you have brought in the things to God. And you have warned them concerning the statutes and the laws, and have made known to them the way in which they go, and the work which they do. And you provide out of all the people men of ability, fearing God, men of truth, hating dishonest gain, and have placed these over them for heads of thousands, heads of hundreds, heads of 50s, and heads of 10s. And they have judged the people at all times, and it has come to pass, they bring every great matter to you, and they judge every small matter themselves, and lighten it from off yourself, and they have borne with you. If you do this thing, and God has commanded you, then you have been able to stand, and all this people also goes to its place in peace. And Moses listens to the voice of his father-in-law, and does all that he said. And Moses chooses men of ability out of all Israel, and makes them chiefs over the people for heads of thousands, heads of hundreds, heads of 50s, and heads of 10s. And they have judged the people at all times, they bring the hard matter to Moses, and they judge every small matter themselves. And Moses sends his father-in-law away, and he goes away to his own land. In the 3rd month of the going out of the sons of Israel from the land of Egypt, in this day they have come into the wilderness of Sinai. And they journey from Rephidim, and enter the wilderness of Sinai, and encamp in the wilderness, and Israel encamps there before the mountain. And Moses has gone up to God, and Yahweh calls to him out of the mountain, saying, Thus you say to the house of Jacob, and declare to the sons of Israel. You have seen that which I have done to the Egyptians, and how I carry you on eagle's wings and bring you to myself. And now, if you really listen to my voice, then you have kept my covenant, and have been a special treasure to me more than all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you are to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which you speak to the sons of Israel. And Moses comes, and calls for the elderly of the people, and sets before them all these words which Yahweh has commanded him. And all the people answer together and say, All that Yahweh has spoken we do, and Moses returns the words of the people to Yahweh. And Yahweh says to Moses, Behold, I am coming to you in the thickness of the cloud, so that the people hear in my speaking with you, and also believe in you for all time. And Moses declares the words of the people to Yahweh. And Yahweh says to Moses, Go to the people, and you have sanctified them today and tomorrow, and they have washed their garments, and have been prepared for the 3rd day, for on the 3rd day Yahweh comes down on Mount Sinai before the eyes of all the people. Today's reading from the New Testament, Matthew chapter 25 verse 16 to verse 37. And he who received the 5 talents, having gone, worked with them, and made 5 other talents. In like manner also he who received the 2, he gained, also he, other 2. And he who received the 1, having gone away, dug in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. And after a long time comes the Lord of those servants, and takes reckoning with them. And he who received the 5 talents, having come, brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered 5 talents to me. Behold, I gained 5 other talents besides them. And his Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant, you were faithful over a few things, I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And he also, who received the 2 talents, having come, said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Behold, I gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant, you were faithful over a few things, I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And he also who has received the 1 talent, having come, said, Lord, I knew you, that you were a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering from where you did not scatter. And having been afraid, having gone away, I hid your talent in the earth. Behold, you have your own. And his Lord answering said to him, Evil servant, and slothful, you had known that I reap where I did not sow, and I gather from where I did not scatter. It was necessary for you then to put my money to the moneylenders, and having come I had received my own with increase. Take therefore from him the talent, and give to him having the 10 talents. For to everyone having will be given, and he will have overabundance, and from him who is not having, even that which he has will be taken from him. And cast forth the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness, there will be the weeping and the gnashing of the teeth. And whenever the Son of Man may come in his glory, and all the holy messengers with him, then he will sit on a throne of his glory. And all the nations will be gathered together before him, and he will separate them from one another, as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep indeed on his right hand, and the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, Come, the blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom that has been prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I hungered, and you gave me to eat, I thirsted, and you gave me to drink, I was a stranger, and you received me. Naked, and you clothed me, I was sick, and you looked after me, I was in prison, and you came to me. Then will the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungering, and we nourished? Or thirsting, and we gave to drink? Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 21 verse 4 to verse 10. He has asked for life from you, you have given length of days to him, for all time and forever. Great is his glory in your salvation, you place splendor and majesty on him. For you make him blessings forever, you cause him to rejoice with joy, by your countenance. For the king is trusting in Yahweh, and in the kindness of the Most High he is not moved. Your hand comes to all your enemies, your right hand finds your haters. You make them as a furnace of fire, at the time of your presence. Yahweh swallows them in his anger, and fire devours them. You destroy their fruit from earth, and their seed from the sons of men. Today's reading from the Proverbs, chapter 4 verse 20 to verse 21. My son, give attention to my words, incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them.
Sisters, trim your lamps with care. The bridegroom's arrival is near. Yes, our lights must shine brightly. He will come soon. Let us be ready.
The hands of Moses. Set it on it, and Moses sits on it. One on this side and one on that side. Grab the hands of Moses.
Jethro, my father-in-law, Moses, my son. Peace be with you.
And with you, my son.
Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord.
Evil servant and slothful, you had known that I reap where I did not sow, and I gather from where I did not scatter.
For to everyone having will be given, and he will have overabundance. And from him who is not having, even that which he has will be taken from him.
For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath.
And cast forth the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be the weeping and the gnashing of...
Oh, please! The darkness!
And whenever the Son of Man may come in his glory, and all the holy messengers with him, then he will sit on a throne of his glory. And whenever the Son of Man may come in his glory, and all the holy messengers with him, and all the nations will be gathered together before him, and he will separate them from one another.
Come, the blessed of my Father,
Inherit the kingdom that has been prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
For I hungered, and you gave me to
I
eat.
thirsted. I was a stranger,